Hello, this is Gary. I want to show you how to put these, a little more about these carousel horses. I've had a couple people asking questions on how they went together. So here's my DMX controllers that I bought from Holiday Core on the back, mounted on the back of the horse. And I'm using some European connectors, which comes in strips of 12. You can buy them at Radio Shack to wire the wires together. I'm using RGB wire to 4-stranded wire to connect the RGB light strips to the different channels. So the horses, in order to get these horses outlined with lights, I spent a lot of time soldering to change directions on the corners to make the horses really good. So if you plan to do this, it's very tedious, and you have to solder 4 wires on the end of each light strip where you cut them. So I use liquid tape, but now I'm using heat shrink wrap to cover the soldering points. And I found a good source of heat shrink wrap for this size project at Freight Harbor. So if you have a Freight Harbor, you can, it probably would do my whole project here. So here's another example. Even though it kind of looks like it overlaps from far away, people don't notice it. I used hot glue to glue down the light strips. On the poles, I live close to New Orleans, and so I had a bunch of Mardi Gras beads, or I may have bought them at a Mardi Gras store here in New Orleans, and I think I bought a gross of Mardi Gras beads. It sounds like that's expensive, but it's I think I paid $15 or $20 for a gross. But you take the beads, and for each strand of beads, you have to just, since they're in a loop, you got to cut them, and then you just use hot glue to wrap it around the pipe of the horse. So these are 2-inch PVC plastic pipe. I think I just used the electrical conduit that you find, plastic conduit you find down at Home Depot. So it's relatively inexpensive. So once I got all the beads glued on, I wanted the light strips to face toward the street so you could see the light of the pole from the pole. So what I did was I used the corrugated plastic like what's sold from Holiday Core to make small strips. And in the small strips, they're just a little bit bigger than the light strip itself. And I put these points on the strip every 6 inches, and then I just hot glued it in, and that really worked quite well. And so this is what it looks like after you did the hot glue and on the poles. Now on the eye of the horse, only did one side, since the back side you can't see from the street. I used the Holiday Core light nodes, that RGB light nodes that they sell, and drilled it out and put it on the channel for the outline of the horse. So whenever the outline of the horse changed, then the lights of the eyes would change. Of course, the bridle and the saddle were on a different channel, and then the pole was on a channel by itself. So if you have any more questions on what I did here, just let me know. Thanks.